Automated outreach is a sin in sales. That's exactly what the sales director of a company who we sent out a contract to yesterday told us. And a lot of people, I realize, think this way. They think that if they automate outreach, if they reach out to a lot of people on automation without manually writing messages, they're doing something wrong. If you do outbound, if you reach out to strangers, you're committing like a crime or something. You're just annoying people. A lot of people think this way, especially outside of the outbound industry. Like, I know a lot of people who watch me, they do like cold outbound for themselves and for the clients. So they're like, of course, no one thinks this way. But the majority of the people outside this industry, they think this exact same thing. And for those of you watching this who do think this way, maybe the girl also somehow ends up stumbling upon this video. So if you're watching this, I'm not making this video to like shit on you or to say that you guys are like absolutely wrong. I just want to make a couple of arguments. I just want to put forward a couple of points. Just go through this video with an open mind and just try to understand what I'm saying. Go through the examples and the stats which I share with you. And after that, you can make a well informed decision if you genuinely believe automated outbound is a sin for sales or not. Anyway, so we did speak to them and whatever. So the guy was kind of convinced, he was interested in doing this, but the director of the sales was not really interested. So a lot of people are like her, by the way. And again, there's nothing wrong about thinking that way because I was exactly like her. So the first impression of outbound I had was from this guy called Hamza Odon. It's basically Hamza, and he has like a YouTube channel. He's a very popular YouTuber, and he had a course basically. I think he still has it, where he basically taught people how to become like content creators, how to make a lot of money from YouTube. And at that point, all of my income was coming from outbound. So I was like pretty convinced that this guy is my legend. He changed my life. He helped me make money. He helped me improve myself. And he used to say that outbound is beneath me. Like outbound is for beggars. Outbound is for people who have zero credibility, and those are just like peasants who just have to beg for people in their DMs, like DMing 100, 200 people a day, and just like begging them that, yeah, I'm gonna edit your videos for free. So that was the first impression of outbound I have. And I genuinely believed it, that outbound was for beggars. It was below me, it was beneath me. So what happens is, like a few months pass since I do this. I was, I think, 17 when I first started making money, and I heard about the concept of making money from content via Hamza. And I just turned 18. It must have been like around June, I guess, and I turned 18 in like the month of April. And I spoke to this guy called Shad. So Shad, I didn't know who he was, but a lot of people, like, I had a public Discord server from my YouTube channel, so it was linked over there, and he came onto the Discord server and he messaged me like, "Hey, I wanted to discuss a couple of things." And I was like, "Who are you?" And a lot of people said, "Yo, bro, Shad, what the hell are you doing over here?" And they're like, "This guy is like really successful, whatever." So Shad owned a company called Bundle Media. He still does. Like, we became really good friends after that. And at that time, he was also an 18-year-old, by the way, and he was making like 25,000 to $30,000 a month profit from Bundle Media, which is a video editing agency. So this is Shad Khan. This is his company, Bundle Media Co. And you can like literally have a look. So he was like a high school dropout. He used to in night when he was in school, and then he literally had like a entire team of 12, 13 people, and he opened his own office, and I think he now lives in Dubai or something. So the point I'm trying to make is he was really successful. He works with Brownlee as well. I remember he went to the 1 billion summit. There was a summit of YouTubers, and I was speaking to him on the phone, and he's like, "Yo, I got this Brownlee guy," and Brownlee pays him like $10,000 plus for like end-to-end management. So he has worked with like all of the biggest people in the industry, and I was just amazed. Like, I had heard of people who were 18 years old making a lot of money online and everything, but I was like, these people are from outside India. They're from like first world countries and shit. And he opened a lot of beliefs for me. Like, at that point, I was still living in India, so being from a third world country, and I've never really seen someone from India who was young make absurd amounts of money, especially at 18 without going to college or something. Of course, there were some people who build the startups, whatever, but I thought they were just lucky. So there was this guy, exactly like me, from a not very rich family. He dropped out from high school when I was 16 or 17 years old. And he was making what a good salary is considered in India per year for someone who was maybe in his like 30s or 40s. He was making that in a month at the age of 18. And the only thing I asked him, like any sane human being, is how the frick are you getting all these big popular YouTubers to work with you? Like, are you hiring on, like, are you applying for work on Fiverr or some bullshit like that? And all he said was one thing: cold email. He just had like, I think, a list of 10,000 to 30,000 YouTubers. And he did not even like scrape new leads. He used to just like send them emails every single month. He used the same list and he used to just like keep on emailing them. And I knew nothing about email at that time. That's all he told me. My first question to him was, what do you write in the subject line? And I still vividly remember him telling me, I just write hi first name because it sounds like a friend wrote it out. I had absolutely zero clue about what this cold email was. I was like, where do you buy email addresses from? Because with one Gmail account, you can only send very few emails. Like, how do you automate it? What software tools you use? How you find email addresses? And I knew nothing about it. But I knew one thing for sure: it clearly works because he was making money from it. So I just went down the rabbit hole of figuring out this outbound thing. Like, what exactly is it? So he changed my life. He broke a lot of limiting beliefs that it's not possible, and he introduced me to outbound. He turned me from a guy who was absolutely certain this shit is for peasants. This shit is never gonna work. And he turned me to someone who kind of was like, okay, maybe this thing does work because it worked for him. And I just don't know how to make it work, sorry. And then I just went down the entire rabbit hole of figuring it out. And slowly but surely, after burning a lot of money, after wasting a lot of time, buying a lot of mentorships, coaching programs, courses, whatever, I eventually did figure it out. I just want to make this video for those people who hate outreach. I want to cover a couple of points. And after going through all of them, again, feel free to make your own judgment. But I'm kind of like making this maybe for the younger version of me. Because if I didn't know outreach, I'll be significantly poorer. I make much more now that I know outreach compared to when I did not know outreach. It's like a key to freedom. Whenever I'm in a bad spot in life, I can just use that get out of jail card and just spam like hundreds and thousands of emails and make money in the next 2 weeks. I've been in really bad situations and outbound saved my life. So this video is for those who genuinely think it's something which does not work and it's crap. The first limiting belief, which is the most common one as well, is that outreach sucks, outbound does not work. If you think so, you're not a special snowflake. Everything who has not done outbound, everything who has not made money from outreach, thinks that outreach sucks. Everyone does that, including me. So you're not a special snowflake for thinking that. Alex Hermosi is like the popular business guy who made like what, $106 million in like 3 days over a weekend when he was selling his like new book. He basically is, I think, probably the most popular business influencer. So he was a genius at paid advertising. He was really good at that. So this is maybe like a lot of years ago. I don't remember exactly when, but these were during the early days of Gym Launch, his gym licensing business. And at that time, like ads were much, much, much easier. So he was absolutely cracked at ads, and advertising was much easier. The cost of advertising was much lower compared to now. And he was printing cash with it. I think he was making like 1.2 million a month, I guess, at that time. And one day he just heard about his competitor who was making like 10 times more than him. The competitor used to sell like some software, I think, like an enterprise software. And he was making $10 million a month. All of it from cold outbound. And Alex was like, I've never even heard of your company. How do you even get customers? And the person was like, yeah, we just do outbound. And he's like, oh, I don't even see their ads. I don't even know they exist. And yet they're making money from outbound. And that that broke a limiting belief for him probably, because then he paid a guy to build out the outbound machine for them. And I think after a year, it became really, really profitable for Gym Launch. Outbound does work. And you want to know why? I can absolutely guarantee in your exact industry, there's a company bigger than yours who makes more money than you, and they use outbound for the same. I challenge anyone who's watching this video, share your industry, share your financial year filings, how much money you made the last year, and I'm going to find your company in your industry who makes more money compared to you just by outbound. I'm so confident. The only companies who maybe fall out of this category are like the Fortune 500 companies because they're massive and they have like a massive referral network or something. But again, they're not watching YouTube videos like this. I'm pretty sure the CEO of Microsoft is not going to be watching this video. So all of you guys watching this video, like let's then maybe 2,000 employees, 1,000 employees, I can find your company who's making more money than you in your industry just by outbound. So if outbound did not work, how is a company in your industry who's more successful than yours? How are they making money from it? The thing is, you don't know how to make outbound work. It's not that outbound does not work. You don't know how to make it work. That's it. There are a couple of ingredients which are required, and once you combine them in the correct order, you get something which works. You get something which works phenomenally, and you just don't know how to do it yet. And that's fine. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I don't know how to run paid ads profitably. Like whenever I've run paid ads, I've lost money. But that does not mean paid advertising is a scam. Like I've never been an idiot who's like, yeah, paid advertising is a scam. I've lost so much of money in paid ads. But I know I'm not skilled enough to be good at paid advertising. There are so many things like how to create creatives, how to set targeting and all of that shit. Like I'm not an expert in ads. And I'm just going to say that I don't know how to make ads work. I'm never going to say that ads are a scam because, bro, there are people in my industry, B2B software, B2B services, who are making so much money than me. And they just run ads. So ads work, outbound work, content works, referrals, affiliates, they all work. All channels of marketing work. If anyone tells you that this does not work, they're just trying to sell you the exact channel of marketing they're using. Even though I don't have anything to sell you related to content or related to advertising or related to referrals and affiliates, I will never say that they're a scam. You just don't know how to make them work because there are companies making millions from all of them. So if you think like outreach does not work, outreach is a scam, you just don't know how to make it work. And you can do two things. Either you learn how to get good at outbound, you invest into mentorship. Like I don't have any courses or coaching to sell you. Like relax. Buy it from reputable people who have been doing it. Invest in coaching, invest in courses, buy tools, like just go and try and figure different things out, invest your money, burn your fucking money, whatever. Or you just hire someone good at it if you have like a big company and you can manage to pay someone like thousands of dollars. If you have a company which makes over like $350,000 a year, we can book you calls on a performance basis. It's going to be profitable for you. It's like a pure performance basis. You can go over to pipelineinjection.com and apply. The first 5 calls are going to be free. Just cover the cost of tools. So just hire someone good at it. It does not even have to be us. Just hire anyone you think is good who has the receipts. Or learn how to get good at it. Stop saying like outbound does not work. You don't know how to make it work. And again, if you think so, that I'm lying, tell me your profit last year, revenue last year. Show me proof. Tell me your industry. I'll find a company making more than yours. Open challenge to anyone watching this videos. The other thing which was mentioned in the WhatsApp message from the sales director is that I think this guy, like the guy who took the call, he kind of mentioned something about LinkedIn cracking down, like LinkedIn outbound as well, I think. So the person was concerned, she was concerned that LinkedIn is cracking down hard on automation tools and they'll throttle profiles for 12 months for the first while. Bro, just tell me one thing. If LinkedIn is cracking down on automation tools, AIM Fox LinkedIn, it's like a very popular automation tool. So if I go to LinkedIn, let me try to search for some tools. If LinkedIn is cracking down on them, why the hell are they allowing them to have their own profiles? How the hell are they allowing them to, like, how the hell are they allowing the founders of these companies to post about their automation tools? It does not make sense. Are you dumb? Like, all these companies exist, I'm pretty sure. I'm not able to find it, whatever. But Prosper, I know the, yeah, you can see. Like, the founder of this company, Prosper, like, this is a LinkedIn automation tool. And I first heard about this company from LinkedIn by the guy's content. I don't know the exact name of the founder. You can search him up. I think it's called Yan. So LinkedIn literally allows these software companies to post content about themselves that they automate outbound on LinkedIn. The hell are you talking about? If that was possible, if LinkedIn was banning these businesses, bro, how the hell are they allowed? Just tell me that one particular thing. Anyways, like that's maybe like a side tangent. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is absolutely true. Like I'm not speaking just about LinkedIn. Every platform, you can get banned. But it's not as bad as your words make it seem. Like you'll be banned for life or some bullshit like that. We're doing outbound on platforms like LinkedIn. Definitely for a year. You have my YouTube videos, which are over 1 year old, and I'm literally doing outbound on LinkedIn, showing you how it's printing calls for us. And if what you said was correct, our profile should not be active on LinkedIn, right? If LinkedIn is banning us, like, how the hell are our profiles still up and running? How the hell are the profiles of people who are making content on how to automate outbound on LinkedIn? Like, how do their profiles still exist? They're getting thousands of views on YouTube. They're doing it for years. Like, there are 2 year old videos on LinkedIn outreach. Those profiles they still exist. So, if by your logic, if you were 100% absolutely correct, you should not be seeing a profile or any other person's profile who's been doing outbound for more than a year on LinkedIn. Again, simply does not make sense at all. Accounts that get banned by outbound, this thing only happens if you don't know what you're doing. Like if your accounts are getting banned, you don't know what you're doing because every platform has safety limits and you have to respect them. For example, if you're doing outbound in Instagram, it's usually around like 50 to 70 messages. If you don't respect that, if you send 200 messages, Instagram is going to ban your account. But that does not mean like outbound does not work. That means you're being an idiot, and instead of getting 4 Instagram accounts to send 50 messages from each account, you're blasting 200 messages from one account. You're not respecting the safety limits. Like Twitter has the safety limit of 450 a day. You can safely send 450 messages a day on Twitter. You cannot do that on Instagram. Every platform is different. You have to respect that. On LinkedIn, you can send 800 connection requests a month. You can maybe send like 60 to 100 emails a day safely to open profiles. You can send 250 group messages safely on LinkedIn. No one knows that. Because these people, they've never done outbound on scale. They've never even done this shit. So they cannot even identify it. So if your accounts are getting banned, you don't know what you're doing, or if the guy you're working with, if they're getting your accounts banned, they don't know what they're doing. These idiots literally don't even use like proxies when they're connecting their accounts to outbound softwares. And if you don't know what that even means, you have a lot to learn. So again, it all comes down to like a knowledge gap. You just don't know what you're doing. You don't know the platform safety limits. And you're not respecting them if you know them. Last but not the least, if you're like respecting the platform safety limits and everything, and you're still getting banned, you're just like not following the best practices. There has been a wave recently where people are getting banned for normal manual outreach on LinkedIn. I've watched videos and this never happened to me personally, so I cannot speak about it, but I've watched videos and posts, people saying this. And they're sending like thousands of emails a day. I know the guy who owns like the software, InMail.ai. InMail.ai, or I think InMailers.ai. I don't remember the exact name. It was something like this. I think this. Yeah. They send like 10,000 plus LinkedIn emails. And they're not getting banned. I know these people personally. And the reason behind that is they know how to make it work properly. They use syntax, they use personalization, they use human sending patterns. If you send like if you have an account based in let's say the US and you have like a virtual assistant from Nigeria sending messages when it's the morning for him, it does not appear human. Like it does not seem like an action a real human being would engage in. And then you get banned. You're not personalizing your messages, you're not using spin tags. If you don't even know what spin tags is, again, that's the thing. This entire video could be summarized into just you not knowing exactly what needs to be done. Outbound works. You don't know how to make it work. And I'll keep on saying that till the time it's engraved in your head. Every channel of marketing works. You just don't know how to make it work. Every channel, not just outbound. Due to the advancements in technology, outbound tools have gotten so good that it's impossible to differentiate between human actions and automated actions. So unless your action appears like those performed by a bot, you'll be fine. Like we also have our own like platform, LinkedInreach.com. We've not built the website, so I just open the dashboard directly. We also have our own LinkedIn automation platform. And if you actually look at the back end how it works, we have a completely realistic human looking browser working. You cannot tell it's like a AI bot or something. it appears 100% human. If you had a look at what is happening on our servers when we automate this outbound thing, LinkedIn cannot tell. Technology has gotten so damn freaking good. The only way LinkedIn can tell is if your actions appear bot, if you're sending messages which a robot would send. No good person at outbound even uses real accounts. That's another side tangent. Like if you're hiring like a guy for, let's say, cold email, or if there's a guy who's telling you to use your own company domain to send out emails, he's an idiot. If he tells you to do outbound from your main real Instagram account, your main Twitter account, your main LinkedIn account, he's probably an idiot. He does not know what he's doing. If they do, like if they tell you to do this shit, you should run away because again, they don't know what they're doing. I just want to give you like another separate example for those people who swear that ads are the best. Because I've seen like usually people who hate on Abron, they love ads. And again, I'm pretty sure both of them work. So why not use both? Anyways, imagine you run lead form ads, you run those ads where people can submit like a lead form on Instagram, and you have an automation where you send out WhatsApp messages. And one day you generated 3,000 leads and you blasted them messages from your personal WhatsApp number. WhatsApp is going to buy your ass. You can send safely like 50 messages if the WhatsApp account is old and aged. Warm messages 50 per day. Again, that's even pushing it. Like ideally, it's like 20 to 30 new messages. If you started blasting these people, your WhatsApp will get banned. But that does not mean WhatsApp does not work. That does not mean lead form ads don't work. That does not mean like advertising as a whole, like meta ads, paid advertising, they don't work. Instagram is a scam. That's not how it works. It just means you're acting like an idiot. WhatsApp is not designed for that. Your personal WhatsApp is designed for communicating with normal people. And normal human beings speak to like, let's say 50 people a day, 30 people a day. You're blasting 3,000 messages. Which normal human being does that? Of course they don't. If you want to send like 50,000 emails a day, a real human being might send like 5 emails a day. So you get 10,000 inboxes sending 5 emails a day. Instead of having one email inbox, send out like 50,000 emails a day. If you just don't act like an idiot, just use common sense, you'll be fine. WhatsApp has an official API for this, where you can pay them every single time they send a message, and you can send like 10,000 messages a day. If you want to send more than 10,000 messages a day, you can ask them, you can request an increase and they'll do it for you. How we know this? We've literally used the WhatsApp API for outbound as well. So we use tools that exist for the purpose. We use the correct tools for the correct thing which you're trying to achieve. You're not. And then you're wondering why it does not work. Bro, accounts don't get banned for no reason. You're blasting thousands of messages, which is over the safe limit for WhatsApp, and you're using your own personal WhatsApp account instead of getting like the API account which Meta provides. That does not mean ads don't work. It means you're doing something which is not supposed to be done. So the same thing over here. If your accounts are getting banned, why are you even using your main account? So if you're not using your main account, it does not matter, right? If it gets banned or not. So you should not even care. But again, due to the advancement in technology, you should not be seeing bans and shit. The next thing which people say a lot, mass outreach is spam. Blah, 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 blah. If you're saying this, that mass outreach is spam, you're probably just praying and praying. Like you have a random lead list which is scraped of like 50,000 people, 30,000 people or something, and you just created like a random generic offer. You scrape that lead list from, let's say, Apollo. You, worst case scenario, you got it from like a lead list giveaway on Twitter or Instagram, something like that, and you're just like spamming emails to these people. Of course it's not gonna work. Of course that's spam. You're reaching out to the wrong people. You're sending messages which are not even relevant to them. Imagine you reach out to the right people. You say the right stuff. You give them exactly what they need. You make it risk-free for them to get started. Like, I have a question for you if the director of sales somehow ends up watching this. If outreach does not work, why did someone from your company get on a call with us? Why did he even consider working with us in the first place? Because what we said to you was relevant. Now, I didn't take the call, so I'm not going to lie, but from what I understand, you guys have like a outsourced sales team and you're just like looking to fill up the calendars. Well, we can do that. So what we said was relevant. We sent it to the right person because it's relevant for you. It might not be relevant for a guy who has an e-commerce business. He does not need sales calls. So we should not be reaching out to them. If we're reaching out to them, then it's spam, of course. But we reached out to the right people, aka you. We said the right thing. that we can get you exactly what you're looking for. And we made it risk free for you to get started with us. We said we'll work on a performance basis. We can give you 5 calls for free as well. You just cover the cost of tools. Well, just think of it for a moment. Aren't we a blessing for you in disguise? You replied to us, you got on a call with us because we said the right thing to the right people, which is you. That's not spam. When you received an email, did it appear like spam or did it appear like something which a real human said? I'll be honest to you. We send that out to like 5,000 people a day. I think the same campaign, that exact same day. We spoke to like dozens of people who have the same problem. We did it on scale, but it did seem personalized. It did seem like a real human being would send that. And that's because we're good at the skill of outbound. So that's why you hire someone who's good. Because most people cannot even realize it's like mass spammy. Like it's sent out to a lot of people if you do it right, which we do. I have another question for you. Presidents and governments, they use email to communicate. Is that also spam? Like imagine the government of US sends an email to the government of Canada. Is that spam? Of course not. They use the email to communicate matters which are relevant, and relevant people use it. Maybe the president of the US sent an email to the president of Canada. It's just like relevant countries, like relevant people communicating relevant matters with each other. That's not spam. But if the government of the US, like the president of the US, is sending an email in English to a random guy from Somalia who probably does not understand that, and he's like Mogadishu or some bullshit like that, that's spam. Because the message is not relevant. He's not the relevant person to communicate with. He does not even understand the language. So again, don't generalize things. It matters on what you're saying, who you're saying it to, and what do you have. Do you have the best interest at heart? I made so many friends who still send me texts on WhatsApp. I'm happy to share all the screenshots. I'm happy to ask them to make a video. They literally send me texts like, one of them lives in like Eastern Europe, and normally Christmas is on like 25th of December, right? So I think in Eastern Europe they have something called Orthodox Christianity, and I'm not like an expert in Orthodox Christianity, but from what I understand, the Christmas which they celebrate, it's usually a bit later. I think it's in the early days of January. So he's like, yo, I just went to the church for Christmas and everything. I was like, oh, Christmas was like on 25th, right? He's like, no, we have like a separate church. It's different over here in Eastern Europe. And I prayed for you. I'm like, I'm grateful for you, everything. And I was like, why? He said, you reached out to me at the right time. So he was really struggling in business at that time. And we worked with them on like a revenue sharing basis. So it was risk free for them. And he's like, bro, you revolutionized my life. You changed my life, everything. We became such good friends. I saved people thousands of dollars. I made them so much of money. Like there are people who I reached out to, and like I can take the name. I don't know if they'll be comfortable, but if anyone wants to like fact check me, message me personally on Instagram or Twitter. I'm happy to provide you proof and everything for this. But there are companies who are very successful, like really successful software companies, CRM companies, cold calling companies. And I have my own company for finding like contact information and everything. And they have built their platforms on top of us. So we have a technology for finding phone numbers, finding email addresses, and they just use our own technology to basically make money by selling it at a markup to their users. And they make thousands of dollars just using that. Well, I made free money. I only charged them once they made money. They didn't pay me anything upfront. So is outreach still spam? And am I literally changing their life and getting messages on the Orthodox Christmas that you saved my life? AI and technology is getting so good that it's impossible to tell if a text is written by a human being or if it's blasted out to millions of people. So how does it matter? If you wanted to say a particular thing to a human being and you wanted to write it manually, well, if AI is doing the same exact thing and he's writing the same exact message, how does it matter if it's done on automation? How does it matter if outbound is done on scale, automated, or if it's done manually, if the end outcome is the same, if the person still receives the same message? I don't get it. Just because technology is getting better, like that's a stupid argument, right? I don't want to use a computer can automate a lot of tasks. You can write code which automates a lot of tasks. That does not mean you have to do tasks manually. That does not mean it's scammy or something. Like imagine a guy receiving money to do some like manual work earlier, and he used to get paid like $20 an hour or something. Now he has a computer and he can use computer to automate like 90% of that. Well, he will still get the money because the outcome is the same. Is he scamming people because he's using technology? I personally don't think so. I think he's just being like, smart about it. He's just using like leverage over there, and that's the basis of humanity. Humanity has always evolved in progress to use things which are high leverage. We always try to get more out of what we put in. Would you invest in a stock which gives you a 2 times return or a 10 times return? Of course, a 10 times return. So why would you not use technology which can automate and which can automate like personalized outreach on scale? You can personalize messages, you can send relevant offers to relevant people, and they're going to love you. If you believe that you're communicating to people that I'm going to help you, and if you genuinely believe like you telling people that how you're going to help them is a scam, you're probably selling crap. It's like a projection. I'm again, if the sales director is watching this, I'm not making this a projection. Like, I'm not saying this to you. I don't know. I was not at the call. My teammate spoke to you, I think. But again, it's usually a projection. I've always noticed like if the people who say everything is a scam, your courses. I don't sell courses, by the way, but I believe courses are great. I bought a lot of courses. I've made a lot of money from courses, like not by selling them, but by buying them. I made money from paying people and learning from them. The people who say like courses are a scam, who say everything is a scam, this is bad, whatever, they are usually the people who scam the most. I've seen. They're always projecting their own insecurities on other people. So if you believe you telling strangers about how you can help them is a bad idea, you're probably selling something which is wrong. You probably don't have the best interest at heart. Because if you do, you would tell everyone about it. If you had a cure to cancer, just ask yourself this question. Would you not email or like reach out to every single person who had cancer? And would you not follow up with them a billion freaking times that, yo, I know you have cancer. I know you're struggling because of cancer. I just figured out the cure to cancer. I'll do it for free. If it does not work, you do not pay me. Just, bro, give me a chance. You believe you can genuinely help them. You're not spamming them. You're not being a scammer. You're just telling the right people that you can help them. That's all you're doing. This is outbound. You're reaching out to cancer patients. You're telling them you can cure cancer. And you're removing the risk which they have. If you actually fix the issue, would they not be grateful for you? Would they say that, yeah, this guy is a scammer just because he reached out to me via an email and I have not messaged him before? The hell is wrong with you? They'll be grateful that you reached out to them. They'll be like, oh my god, I'm so damn freaking grateful. He reached out to me. I might be dead if I never even heard about this guy. Use your brain, please. By this point, most of the people who used to have like fucked up beliefs about outbound, like the belief should be gone because I've given you a lot of things which are logical. But usually at this stage, the people who are still not convinced that outbound is the correct thing. Outbound is not bad. I'm not saying you should only be doing outbound. I'm saying like all marketing channels work. By this point, the only people who don't even want to give outbound a shot are those who are like, yeah, sure, it might work. Everything makes sense on paper. But there's something inside which does not make sense. Like, for some reason, I just want to don't do this shit. And if you're one of these people, I want to cover just like the last point which I have, which is just focus on the journey and the experience, not the plane ticket. What do you mean, Somil? If you want to go on a vacation and there was a company which ensured that you reach the island safely, like let's say you're trying to go to Marbella, Spain for a vacation, like let's say you want to go on like a boys trip, like a lads trip or something, or let's say you want to go there, or you're a girl and you want to go to Ibiza or something. Imagine there's a company which promise you, we're going to take you to Marbella safely. We're going to ensure that you don't end up paying like 20 euros for a bottle of water, which costs like 50 euros, 50 cents, sorry. If there was a company which ensured that and you had a 10 on 10 experience, would you just end up working with the company? Or would you fight with them just because a pilot of a plane is an immigrant? The pilot is flying the plane. If any person has double digit IQ, if any person is sane, if any person is like a normal functional human being, he's like, I'm getting what I want. How does it matter? If the pilot is yellow in color, if he's a black guy, if he's a white guy, if he's pink in color, or if the color of his skin is orange, how the hell does it matter? I'm gonna end up at the destination. I'm gonna have like an awesome experience. I'm not gonna be ripped off. How does it matter? what is the color of the skin of this person. If there's some ultra racist retard in the company and he's like, yo, I don't want to fly with this because the pilot is Chinese and he's sent by the CCP, the Communist Party of China, bro, you're just stupid. No one's gonna take that retard seriously. They're gonna be like, bro, you're fucking dumb. The point is, as a business owner, you should care about just one thing, which is making as much money as possible with the least amount of bullshit to deal with. You want to make the money conveniently. You don't want to rip people off in the process. But as long as you're doing something which is right and are able to make a lot of money, how does it matter? That's the only thing you should be caring about. Outbound is cheap. See, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Compared to advertising, bro, outbound is cheap, cheap, cheap. You can reach like 150,000 people via outbound for like $700, $600 if you work with us. Otherwise, it's going to cost you around like $1,000 because we save you a lot on tools. The cost of tools, I'm saying. You can read that amount of people for approximately $700. The cost of reaching like 1,000 people via advertising is like $10. So if you want to reach like 10,000 people, it's $100. 100,000 people, it's $1,000. 150,000 people, the costs keep on adding up. And the thing is, Meta and all these advertising platforms are going to be charging you for impressions just for showing it. And these people are not going to be qualified. When we say in outbound 150,000 people, these are people who are perfectly qualified, who have kind of shown like some intent, which is helping us figure out that they kind of are interested in your service indirectly. So the quality of these impressions, they're much, much, much higher. Outbound is super cheap compared to ads. It's much faster compared to content. Like, I made money from content, I've never hidden it. I'm not saying content does not work. I made money from it. I make good money from content. I get like a lot of customers for my software. I get a lot of service customers. I get a lot of great partnerships, which make me thousands of dollars from content. But content took me years to build. Like, content is not something which you start today and by tomorrow you go viral. Of course, that can happen. But for most people, it's going to take months and years. So outbound is much faster compared to content. You can start seeing results from like 2 weeks. From the second week of doing this, you can start to see meetings and results. Outbound is predictable. You can say, okay, like I'm sending 1,000 emails, booking one call. I want 5 calls a day. I'll send 5,000 emails a day. Oh my God, I'm sending like 5,000 emails a day and I'm able to book like 5 calls. I want 50 calls because I just hired like 10 new sales reps. I'm just going to send like 50,000 emails. Okay, for that, I need like how many more inboxes? Like I need 10,000 inboxes. So I just need to buy more inboxes. I just need to buy like 100 more domains. So it's very predictable to scale. And last but not the least, it's just something which works. Just Google it right now, like the average B2B cold email ROI. I'll just do it live in front of you because most people don't believe it. It's 36 times. Average ROI from email B2B. You can see 36 to $42 for every dollar which you spend. Like, that's literally the ROI you get. Imagine, it's average, by the way. If an advertising agency is able to get you like a 36 times return on investment, they're gonna spam their entire feed on Instagram that, yo, we got this guy a 36 times ROAS return on ad spend. This is average, by the way. So it just works. And if you're a smart business owner, again, how does it matter if you like outbound or not? We're gonna ensure it's legal. It is, by the way, because we're not in jail, and if it was illegal, we'll be in jail. Other people doing outbound will be in jail. Like, breaking news, newsflash, I'm still alive, I'm not in jail yet. So outbound is not illegal. I have not paid fines for outbound. None of the people who I know, they've not paid fines for outbound as well. It's legal, trust me. If you're a smart business owner, how does it matter? If you like it or not, it just works. You will make more money than what you invest into outbound without putting anything at risk if you know how to do it right, or if you hire someone who knows what they're doing. And the market does not care about what you like. Like, generally, the market is the king in business. Market does not give a shit if you like outbound, if you like ads, if you like content. It's possible in the future, like let's say after 10 years, outbound stops working. The market is not gonna give a shit if I like outbound or not, I have to adopt. Let's say only paid advertising works, then I'll have to learn advertising. Because I have to adapt myself to the market because I'm not a special snowflake that the entire world is going to change themselves for me. I have to abide by the rules of the market. The market dictates all the conditions for business. Imagine due to the advent of AI avatars, in the future content stops working, people stop like trusting people. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I love content, so people should watch my content and buy. I'll understand the conditions of the market has changed. And I have to adapt myself, otherwise I'm gonna die. Who is that guy? Charles Darwin, he said it right. Survival of the fittest. The species who are able to adapt quickly, they survive, and the ones who don't, they die. So again, does not really matter if you like outbound or not. If you want to make money, you have to abide by the conditions of the market, and the conditions of the market dictate that outbound is currently working. So there's your answer in front of you. I hope this helped. I'm pretty sure if you genuinely like watch this video with an open end, you probably don't believe that automated outreach is a sin. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or just send me a message in WhatsApp. And I think the number is probably in my description. Bye.